with a chance to take the lead. Kaepernick, end zone, front three. Broken up, picked off. This game is over.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to 12 Minutes Every Time. I'm Mike Bailey. This is Ryan Bailey, and we're here to preview the Week 6 matchup, Seattle at Cincinnati. Not a juggernaut of a team, but still a team that's been very competitive for the past couple of years. It should be, these are the games we need to win. Cincinnati has not started the season well, and it should be a good competitive game, though, in general. All right, as usual, this is 12 minutes, so we're going to start the clock now. Boom. All right, Ryan. Cincinnati's a 3-point favorite. We assume the game will be close and tough. We need to win all the matchups we can, offensive line, defensive line, all that. But as usual, as we have week to week, we're going to start with the offensive line. Or excuse me, we're not. We're going to start with our injury report. Do you have the injury report up right in front of you?
Yeah, I got it. So we got out Kobe Bryant and Artie Burns right away. Artie hasn't been that big of a crucial point, but Kobe was, playing a lot of that slot position for us, playing a lot of that nickel corner. And, what does that mean moving forward now? Are we going to have, Witherspoon play that nickel corner again? He was very successful with it last week. But, so it kind of makes you wonder if he's going to be put back into that same position again. But it seems like all the rest of our corners are back and healthy, which is good.
Good. And then the big news is that Charles Cross is off the injury report.
Yeah, Charles Cross is off, right? That's good. But Phil Haynes is still on it, and Damian Lewis is considered doubtful, which would also mean maybe a line shift, right? Evan Brown, our center, when Damian Lewis went down, he moved over to that left guard position. So what does that mean for next game? Do we do that again? Because Evan Brown has been a stud for us, and he's just outstanding. He's hasn't allowed a sack, hasn't really allowed a pressure all season. So, I'm wondering if he's going to be put back in that position, and we're going to start the rookie again at center.
Yeah, it's a good question. The offensive line is probably the biggest puzzle. Two things that I know Pete Carroll said this week was that he went tongue-in-cheek with Witherspoon playing the slot again. I think it just went so well there. They're so tempted to just throw him back in there, especially as we mentioned that having Woolen and Witherspoon on the same side could be extremely dangerous. And the other thing Pete mentioned, we're going to switch to the offensive line, is that Jason Peters is available, and he's available to play tackle or guard.
Nice. Yeah, big boy. He can fill up any sort of gap. He knows what he's doing. He can be put in any position. He'll make sure your quarterback's clean.
That's real nice to know that we can have added a little more flexibility, and we didn't have to rush Peters in. He's probably been there 3 weeks now, so that's nice. Real quick on the Bengals side for injuries, their biggest one probably is T. Higgins is questionable. He was inactive last week. That just makes their offensive that much more of a threat. So anyway, moving on, we're going to talk about our O-line, which includes our tight ends as well in run block and pass block. And how is our run game? How are we going to make our run game effective enough to keep Burrow off the field and to put us in short third downs and just in general establish a sense of dominancy or direction, so to say. Direction's a better word.
Yeah, I think, I mean, last week the Cardinals ran for 150 yards against the Bengals, right? And James Conner went down. And they're nowhere near the caliber of running backs that we have, right? I think us personally, Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, they're way better running backs. If we can get 150 rushing yards, 200 rushing yards, then we're controlling the clock of the game. We're keeping Burrow off the field. That's a phenomenal game. That's what I want to see. I want to see us just pound the rock, keep holding on to that lead or keep holding on to the ball and making sure that Joe Burrow's not out there trying to beat us.
Yes, very much. And I do feel strong about it. Charbonnet, it seems to be a great addition. He's big. Our O-line has been able to stand up. So I do feel confident in that. Do you have a PFF grade on their defensive stats? Yeah,
they were ranked 24th, I think, overall on defense.
Okay.
If I remember reading that, 26 overall on defense. So, but it is deceiving a bit. I mean, their offense was so poorly playing, right, and not holding onto the ball makes your defense out there really a lot longer. But I mean, they got dominated by the Tennessee Titans. But that's just the NFL, though, right? Like, just because they got dominated by the Titans, they're having a slow season to start makes us now confident that we can probably win this game. Where maybe during the offseason we were more like, oh, we can kind of count that one as maybe a loss. it's a non-conference game. It's it's an away game. It's like, okay, that one could be considered a loss. It's not the end of the world. But now that we see that they're struggling, now we want to attack. We want to be vicious. We want to go out there. We want to steal a win from a team that's been deep playoff runs in the past and struggling right now. So we want to go get that.
I would agree. That's a great game to capitalize and take advantage of and put one in our pocket. Put one in our pocket that you're right. These are the games we're allowed to lose, a non-conference road game. They don't affect the tiebreakers as much. So
yeah. But we can't lose games. 49ers are too much of a juggernaut. We cannot lose games.
I agree. 100% agree. I guess we could quickly talk about our receivers in our pass game. In a sense, they may match up well. I guess the point I want to bring up is that we probably need big plays from them to complement our run game. Big plays to complement our run game.
Yeah. Everyone needs to be able to catch the ball on third down. Just get open on third down, get that ball going, caught, get moving. I mean, I have got no issues with Lockett. Lockett's always going to be put in the best position. He's always going to find a way to get us into a good drive or get us in a good position. And it's DK's got to make sure his hands are right. They're going to be all over him. They bully him as much as they can because he's big. But they also on their injury report is their starting corner Chidobe, I think his name is. He's out, he's questionable. So if he's out, then that really helps us a lot. And then Jackson Smith, we need to see him not drop a pass. He's dropped a pass like every game, I feel like, or hasn't had much of his opportunities, and he's not taking advantage of them when he does have opportunities. So
yeah, that'll be big. We do need this. We always need the support of the lesser guys because they can easily double team Metcalf or Lockett in a sense. And I would say, something Dan Orlovsky mentioned the other day on ESPN NFL Live is that Shane Waldron is doing a great job of getting Geno off his mark in a sense of he's changing the mark of where Geno is throwing it. So it's not the same spot. So the defense can't focus on the same spot that he's throwing from every time, the same 5 drop. And that was really good. And he also brought it in with using our tight end so well and putting them in positions. So it's really good. And I really hope that is a big factor of keeping Geno a little bit moving, maybe not necessarily all the rollouts, but his same spot. It's a different spot on the dropbacks.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love what they're doing. Last week they should have scored more points than they did. And I want to see that transition. I want to see something a little bit more dynamic with the team next week. I want to see some bigger plays. We haven't seen Bobo in a while either. I want to see some Bobo out there.
Right. That would be nice too. That'd be nice too. All right, moving on. We're switching to the defense side. We have about 5 minutes left. We want to stop the Bengals run game and put Burrow in long third downs. And hopefully our pass rush can get to him in a sense.
Yeah, the pass rush is, that's key right now is that teams who can beat us, they're beating us through the air, right? They're getting the ball out quick. They're throwing it fast. Like they're getting little button hooks. They're getting like little slants across the middle. We want to take that stuff away, right away. We want to be able to pounce on people right away and let our pass rush get in there, dude. We want to make Burrow hesitate to throw that ball 1 split second, and then now our boys are on top of you, and that's what we're hoping for, dude. Our defensive stats jumped drastically because of last week's, and now that could be deceiving towards people, but let's not let them think that. Let's dominate again on the defense and let people know that we're here to play.
That's a great point. And it'll be important for our defense to step up to complement our offense because we're probably going to need to score more than 20 points to win this game. So that means we're going to need to hold it. So if it's like 24-17, it'll probably be a one-possession game, as a lot of NFL games are. It will be tough. I would say that is besides Witherspoon blowing up on the Monday night game, I would say our pass rush is probably one of the better aspects of our defense so far, with Mafe making a huge step and with Nwosu continuing to play and getting other help from other guys from all three after that. The DBs, linebackers, and DNs, D-line, they're all getting in there. It's very nice. And Burrows has also been a little banged up. He looked a little healthier last week, a little more mobile. So, but either way, that's probably still an issue. And actually, as in the past, the Bengals have really had a lot of issues with letting up a lot of sacks.
Yeah. Last week, I don't think they gave up a single sack. That's probably why they played so well. That's probably why Burrow was able to put 30 points. Now, let's make sure we get out there and get some sacks on him, because if we can just push him off his spot, make him have to move that calf, then maybe he's going to make some mistakes here. and get sacked, throw bad passes, put that, making sure Jamar Chase isn't out there just putting up 300 yards and getting 3 touchdowns. So we don't want.
That's something we don't want. We don't want big plays from Chase. Yeah. We don't want big plays from any other guys. Mixon's consistent, but if we can just keep him under 100 yards, under 80 yards, that'd be great. That might put us in a good situation. So we're to our next point. We got about 2 minutes left. Adams will be back, and then Woolen and Witherspoon, their matchups against Chase, possible Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and even our hometown boy here out in Hart High.
Trent
Irwin. Thank you. I just blanked on his name for a second. So what do you think about that? Witherspoon and Woolen and their matchup versus Chase and Higgins and some of their other receivers.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see because if they move Witherspoon into that nickel spot and he's moving around, that's gonna be a lot. That's gonna be really exciting. Like, is he gonna be moving around with Jamar? Is he going to be trying to go up against him? And then, as long as those guys feel confident that Quandre Diggs is back there protecting everything in the back, then they could just play free and go get him, dude. That's what I want to see, man. So I'm excited about that. I think Woolen's just going to be fine. No one ever targets him. He'll be fine just the way he is. Nothing bad's going to happen. It's just about Witherspoon and then the guys who are on the the other side of the field that are going to, the other corners, going to be able to stop him.
And you're right. Is Chase going to be over by Woolen as a decoy, or are we just going to, or is the Bengals just going to put Chase on Witherspoon the whole time, or on that right side the whole time? And just be like, you do it. You win the game for us in a sense. You make enough big plays to win us the game. You're right. 150 yards and 2 TDs. That'll be very damning to our defense, and that'll not look good. That'll frustrate people. We got about 1 minute left. Is there anything else on the defense you want to add before we close up with special teams?
No, man, I'm just excited to see Diggs, Adams, Woolen, Witherspoon out there, right? Like, I'm just really excited to see that all go. And I really hope that Dron Reed and Boye Mafe and Draymond Jones and Uchenna Nwosu, they keep playing really well, because I would like to see some more Pro Bowlers from out of this defense again. It's been a long time since we've had good Pro Bowlers. We've had good players. So I'm really excited to see how they go out there and actually go up against a good quarterback, because we went up against a good quarterback, Matthew Stafford, and we got beat. So let's go and beat this guy.
That's a great place. A little healthier. Who knows, all right. So special teams, real quick. I think it'll be real simple. DJ Dallas does not need to have any fumbles. He's been playing very well, extremely well. We're very confident in him. Dixon as well. Dixon's a great punter. He's probably top in the league. So we really just need to rely on Jason Myers not missing the field goals he could, because this is the type of game that'll hurt us drastically.
Yeah, he needs to not miss his field goals. That's it. That's all. Okay. We need to keep up with 49ers. We cannot lose these games. I want to beat them so badly, the 49ers. I want them to play well on all games, making sure we keep up with that race, because we need to keep up with that race.
It is. It's an arms race. It's an arms race for sure.
There it is. Yeah.
And they just traded for Randy Gregory too. So the 49ers are always willing to make a trade and push, as we saw with their best trade was McCaffrey. So yes,
I would like to have gotten Frank Clark, but whatever. We'll see how that goes off.
We don't know yet.
Clark, he's released. He's released.
Oh, okay.
I think he'll go back to Kansas City and not come back to us.
That would make sense. All right, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, that's 12 minutes of your time. The Week 6 preview of the Seahawks at Cincinnati. I'm Michael Bailey. This is my great brother, Ryan Bailey, and we did a hell of a job today, in my opinion. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Woo!